Hi, I'm Mary Kinlock. I've had a request to do the Angel's Trumpet flower. First of all, the sheet is like this. Don't paint it first. The cotton in the fibers will do what we want them to do if they're not painted. Okay, so first thing I do is I take them out of the sheet, and the flower has 5 of these petals. And so I bend it down the middle, and I have 5 petals sitting here. Okay, I have a 24 gauge wire that I have dipped in the tip in white paint and gel medium. Remember the difference in gel medium and matte medium. Okay, this flower I'm going to put together using matte medium. It's kind of like a fabric stiffener. Anyway, here's what it looks like. And I have a little dot of Eileen's tacky glue. So we'll give this a try. I'm going to dip the very tip and the ends, the sides, whatever you want to call them. And I'm going to place it lightly on the wire. And I'm going to keep doing that. This flower, I first had it laser cut, then had to figure out how to put it together so that it wouldn't be a gluey mess. That was the challenge. And I mean, it was one that made me cry. You're going to keep gently, and if you have the least little bit of a shake, you can't do this. You have to have the steady hand of a surgeon. So dip both ends in. Now, see, the problem is that they're going to move on you. One lady described these as difficult but doable. So they are doable, but they will take some patience. Okay, now I'm going to kind of gently push them into place. As you can see, sometimes they don't want to cooperate. And sometimes you just have to keep turning them in directions to get them to cooperate. Okay, now, once they're sort of lined up, I'm going to take a brush, a good sized brush, and I'm going to overload it with the matte medium. And I'm going to paint down the sides. This will kind of make the sides suck in together. But they've got to be close. Okay, that one. Now see, that one's a little bit far, but sometimes you can move it a little bit with your brush. And sometimes you got to go on and do the next one and then come back to that one. Okay, once I get all the sides, I'm going to paint the entire flower, and I'm just using a very light touch. Now here's that side that was trying to be uncooperative. I'm going to kind of push it together a little bit. And then try to get that other point on the bell to line up. Sometimes it's just a whole lot of patience. There we go. It's somewhat, sometimes it just, the ends just don't want to meet. But if you keep doing this, you know, the problem is nothing is dry, so it's not going to, I mean, it's going to keep moving. And the more you futz with it, sometimes the worse it'll get. So once you get it to where all those little corners are lining up, and you've gone down all the surfaces of the flower, it looks a little bit wonky right now, but I'm going to put it in a flower holder to dry. Okay, let's try that one more time. Here's another 24 gauge wire tipped with the matte medium, or the gel medium rather, and white paint, because down in the inside of the flower is like a little stamen. 5 petals. Okay. There's one folded, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there's our 5 petals. Fresh glue, always fresh glue. Now I kind of hold it like this, the tip, and you can't see my hand, I don't think. I'm doing the very top tip, the sides, just the tips. Lay it on there. I don't know if you're seeing that I am only touching the glue to the very top tip and the side tips of the bell shape. And then I'm laying the petal on the wire, and I'm trying to get the those little bell-shaped sides to touch each other. Okay, one more. A lot of times you find that 4 would be easier than 5, but flowers always have 5. Okay, now I'm going to take my brush with the matte medium and paint down. I mean, I'm barely touching this because it's still wet. If you don't do it while it's still wet and movable, I don't think you're going to be able to get the same results. Okay, so I'm going down the seams. I'm really loading up my brush. Matte medium, it's going to make the flower stiff, like fabric stiffener. So it's not going to be like a paper type flower anymore once we get through with it. Okay, now I've got one that's kind of trying to be wonky. Now once they dry, you can do a little tweaking on them. So if it's a little bit wonky in the beginning, that's going to be okay. Okay, so I'm going to stick that one in the flower holder to dry, and then I'm going to show you that what I mean by it being a little, this is now hard. It's hardened. And what I did was I went outside and I spray painted the flowers. And you see how I can then turn the edges up a little bit. Okay. Spray painting has a good effect because you can kind of lightly spray, and the flower has like different shades of pink to white, so you can, you know, keep the inside white and get the edges pink. Then this is the flower. Now for the tree, what I do is I hand cut silk crepe that is yellow. I stiffen it with fabric stiffener, paint it with acrylic paint, hand cut each leaf, and then when I glue it onto a wire, I vein the leaves with a stencil burning tool. Okay, now that the leaves are veined, if you go back and look at the Schefflera instructions, I show you how I take a leaf and put the wire at a 90-degree angle, then paint with white glue all down the center, and then paint with gel medium, that's this one, mixed with a green paint. Just, you know, just need a dab and a few drops of water so that you can then get your brush down inside here. And then if it's kind of lumpy, what I do is I dip my brush in some water and then kind of smooth it out, or spin it, tap it, a lot of different things just to kind of try to level out the gel medium. It will still have some like little holes like it does now, and I can always go back and touch those up. Okay, and then the next thing after this all dries, you're gonna just give the leaves a little arch. Then I hand cut like a little piece of the silk and put over the flower. The flowers kind of come out of like a little sheath. So now you've done one branch of your angel's trumpet, and you keep doing more and more of these. Put them together, and then do the same thing with the white glue.